So today I wanted to package an order with you, and we're going to go through making the box. Sorry if my voice is a bit icky, I'm not feeling too good today, but crafters must craft, I guess. So one thing that I think is very important is the way that you present yourself, and that's why I like to add a little bit of a personalized touch to each of my orders. Just so that when the person receives it, they feel like, there was some care put into it, or some love, or some heart and soul. I think that does make a good impression. I mean, I could very well go and grab an old box and stick it in and tie it up and send it off, but I want the receiver to feel that there was just some effort put into it for them. It's not just about the paid item, it's about how you present the entire package. I think this is a really great box that you can use for so many different things, and it is super, super easy to do. So Megan Tate's actually designed and shared this on her profile. Go and give her a follow on Design Space. She's actually got 2 different boxes that I've made, and they are really awesome. So the one that I'm going to make today is the bauble box of 4, and I'm going to show you how to edit this. I've made it before with the acetate window, but because I'm doing an order today, I don't want the acetate window. I'm actually just going to use that space to rather put the delivery details on. So I'm going to show you how to edit that, how to make sure it's the size you want it, and make sure that everything is in place and where it should be. So the first thing I'm going to do, so this piece here, which is supposed to be the acetate, is going to be where I write my details. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a square, and I'm going to make it 13 centimeters because that's how big I need my box to be. I'm then going to let's put that there, and then we'll put that there because we want everything to resize together. So we do that, and we're going to make it slightly smaller. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so we can delete that. So what you're going to do if you want to label is you're going to put your text in. So something to remember is when you want writing, you've got to change your operation type to pen. You've also then got to change your style from regular, which is what it would usually be. Let's just zoom in on that. So a lot of people have complained about this. They don't like the outline. So what you've got to do is you actually got to change your style from regular to writing. Not all texts have that option, so you've got to find one that does. This is the Alyssa stencil script, and I think it's a great font. So what you would do is you would write your details. You would write your details there to, let's just say J. Okay, you would resize it, align if you want to, and then you would actually attach that. So what you do when you attach is you are sending it together to cut, or to your cut screen, or whatever you want to say. Otherwise you would have your writing on one screen and you would have your box on another screen. When you attach it, you make sure that your writing and your box are together. So what we would do here, I don't want all of these pretty pictures. If you're doing a white box, you could do that. So in the middle we've got a square and we've got the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach all of this. So we're going to undo the unite. And as you can see, there's a lot of different slice results here. I'm going to select all of them, including my center square, because remembering I don't want a foil acetate window, and I'm going to weld all of that. Now what happens when I've welded it, yes, that should actually, okay, so what happens once I've, Oh gosh, what have we done? Did we do the right thing? Yeah, we did. Okay, so now that I've welded it, there's your weld result, but your score lines are no longer attached to it. So what you've got to do is you've actually got to go and select all of your score lines. As you can see, I'm holding down the wrong button. So we're going to select our weld, we're going to hold down the control key, and we're going to select our score lines. Now we need the correct lines. Sorry, I don't know what is going on with my design space right now. So let's detach all of this. Okay, so we're going to select all of our score lines, and we're going to select our weld result, and we're going to attach it. So what happened when I welded it, the things that were previously attached to it detached and went and did their own thing. Lord only knows why. So with these as well, it's important to make sure that you've still got score lines. If you look at your operation up in the corner, and they are all still score lines, and you check these ones. So this is attached to all of this already. So if I move it, it all moves together. Same with this. If I click on it, you can see all of my score lines are attached to it. So if you don't want to change this design, you don't have to. Just make sure that all of your things that are attached are all score. You don't want it to cut. Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Everything's attached, everything's a score line. So what I'm going to do is my box is actually going to be my label, my little white box. I'm going to write my whole message on it. And then one of these is going to be the bottom of the box, and one of them is going to be the lid of the box. So this is a super simple design. I've made this twice now, and I absolutely love it. So grateful that Megan shared it. I think this box is great for party boxes. It's a good size. So what you can do as well is you can, so if we go into the Make It screen, this will show you sort of how big your box is. So as you can see, there's a lot of play still in terms of a 30.5 by 30.5 piece of cardstock. So you could make this even bigger. When I made it the biggest that it could be, it was the perfect size for a party box, or if you make homemade biscuits, it was the perfect size for that as well. So what I want to show you as well, if you wanted to change the design on it, you saw Megan had some Merry Christmas stuff. If you wanted to change some designs, all you would do is you would put it on top of it and you would attach it to that. So you would put your design, let's look for birthday. So it is also possible to write your message directly onto the box. Completely possible. So let's just put a birthday cake. Let's move that out of the way. So what you got to remember as well, the bigger piece, the one that's slightly bigger, that is going to be the top of your box. So that would be that. So this we would change to pen or foil or whatever you want to change it to. Put it onto your box, make sure that it fits in the middle. Oopsie. Let's just align center horizontally, align center vertically, and then you would just attach that. So you now have a picture that's drawn directly onto your box. I don't need to do that today, so I'm not going to do that. Another thing you can do, if you want a heart window or a circle window, you could completely do that. What you would need to do is you would put in a shape of what you want. So if you wanted a circle window box, you put in your circle. Make sure it's on the right one. So let's detach that. Let's delete that. You would put your circle there. and you would slice your circle out of that. So you go there, you select your weld result, and you select your circle, you slice that. There we are. You've now got a circle window. What you would need to do then is you would have to go and reattach your lines to it so that your score lines are all in the correct place. What you would then do is, let's bring this to the front. You would need to make this bigger than your hole. So what you could do is you could add an offset, and there you can see how much bigger it's going to be, because obviously you need sticking space on the inside. So you could do that. Okay, and then that would be your acetate piece. Or you could just resize your circle. It's a bit harder to see though how much space you've got. So that's how you would make a different shape on the center of the box. So this is a super easy design, super easy to edit and change and do whatever you want with it. So now I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to show you how to put it together. Okay, so I have my design cut. Have a look at this cardstock. Can you see that gorgeous shimmer it's got? I absolutely love this cardstock, and it is nice and thick, as you can see. Nice and thick. I cut this on the craft board setting, and it cut beautifully. So you can actually like sort of roll your mat, and it will come off. Boom, mat's still perfect. Okay, it's dirty, but it's perfect. So I also just wanted to show you, you obviously get different colors in this craft board. I've got quite a few, but look at that. I love the way it shimmers. This is actually perfect for boxes or anything that you need some strength to it. So I'm just going to put those away. So as always, my first step is to score my lines again. It's always my first step. Because this is a thicker cardstock, you can go over it twice if you want. You don't have to. Okay, so now you can see the score lines nicely. And then we're going to do that. So you'll notice one is a little bit bigger than the other. And that's obviously going to be the lid of your box. Now we're just going to fold our box. Okay, a nice thing to have for this design, pegs, and I'm going to show you why now. We will be using our Panel extra strong wood glue. I'm using one of these because I just want to kind of speed up the process a bit. I have my little plastic lid. Okay, I should put a bit more. Okay, and then we're going to work on them one by one. Just a bit of glue. And let's bring that closer. Get it all the way up to the end and on the side. Okay, and then we're going to, let's actually get it more towards the end. And we're going to stick that down. And we're then going to stick a peg on it to sort of help it. So because this is a thicker cardstock, you can put extra glue on for two reasons. One, you want it to obviously be held down properly, and two, it's not going to crinkle the cardstock as easily as it would if it was a thinner cardstock. So you can see I've got my pegs on it. Okay, and that's just to help that stay down. So what I like about this glue as well is that because it doesn't dry immediately, you can slide your cardstock. So for instance, if it's like that, you can sort of slide it in. See? Okay, the last one's a little bit trickier. Because you want to get that all in there. Oopsie! Almost messed that up. Okay, so it's a little trickier because you want to get it in here, but you also don't want to get glue everywhere. Okay. And you don't really want to bend your cardstock either. Oopsie. You can just wipe it away. And we're going to just get that all the way down into the bottom. All the way down. Okay. So here you can see there's a bit of glue showing. You can just take your nail and just scrape that glue away. And we put our last peg. Okay, so that is the base of our box, and I really hope it's going to be big enough. Now we're going to do the exact same process. I've got some more pegs so that we don't have to wait. We're going to do this exact same process for this one. Obviously, the more glue you put, the longer it's going to take to dry. And that one, I think I may have put a little bit too much glue for what I actually wanted. There we are. See that smushing out, so we're just going to scrape it away. Okay. We got some glue on the inside of that, but that's okay. So what would I change before we even get to the end of the video? Instead of rushing and using a big brush, I would just use one that allows you to have a little bit more precision. I think I may have just slightly rushed this a bit. Just wipe that away. Remember, even if a glue dries clear, if it dries against your cardstock or showing on your cardstock, you will be able to see that once your cardstock dries. There's a lot of light today. Look how weird my hands look. And I joked with my daughter I got bitten by a snake. I didn't. Of course, I don't even know what happened. But I realized last video that it was very difficult for everyone to see me half the time. So I'm just trying out some new things, and I hope this is a little bit better. Remove glue. Yeah, that's how we make messy glue, just in case you're wondering. And Okay, now we're going back to our first part of the box. Just making sure it's all pressed down nicely. I think that is super cute. So now we get to see if our items actually even fit. So we made these super cute Christmas stockings for Ian and Bridget. So I'm just going to make sure there's no fluff on them, because presentation is 90% of everything, I guess. So we're going to fold these nicely. Okay, let's see if that fits. No, we're going to have to fold that differently. Okay, let's just how are we going to fold this? I'm not sure. We need it smaller than that. There we are, that fits. Okay, next one. Oopsie, that doesn't look too neat. Okay, let's do it like this. And let's fold it like that. There we are. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, make it a little Christmassy. So I have crepe paper. And I have my super sticky scissors that are not going to work. I need to clean those. Chop, chop, snip, snip. So all we're going to do is we're going to cut the crepe paper like so. And then you actually flip it out. Okay, we got it all flipped out. Now what we're going to do is we're actually just going to put some of that in there. It might be a bit much. Oopsie. Oh, it's all connected. We just want to add a bit of a Christmassy vibe to it. There we are. And I think that is absolutely perfect. Now let's check this. So we're just, oh, we did it the wrong way around. How silly am I? How silly am I? So that actually goes there. And that goes in there. And that goes on top. And there is our little packaging box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the locker details on top. And like I said, presentation is everything. And I think it's very important that you let your customers feel how much energy, love, whatever you put into it. So I'm actually going to, oh gosh, mess. So I'm actually going to package up my box like this with some double-sided tape. This will also, because it'll be double-sided taped onto there, it will also stop it from being opened in transit. And then I'm actually going to do the same for this side. So I would usually put a bow, but because I am putting the locker details on top, I'm not going to do that. So everything will be double-sided tape nicely. That very thin double-sided tape, I'll show you. Everything will be double-sided tape nicely like that. And I'm going to put my locker details on top. So this is the double-sided tape that I'm talking about. As you can see, it's super, super thin. And then what I'll do is just sort of lay that. Oopsie, we're running skew. Oops, and I almost knocked my lamp over. It almost did. There we are. There we are. And then we snip this. Oh gosh, what am I doing? And now that has... Okay, so there's my one piece. And this will be my next piece. There we are. So I will keep the rest of this crepe paper for another order. I'm sure it will come in handy for something. Okay, so now we're going to attach our ribbon. As you can see, I've got double-sided tape. So we're going to turn our box over so we can get it nice and straight. And curl it over the sides. And then I'm going to turn it back over. Oopsie. We want this nice and tight. Okay. So that has gone a bit skew. Okay, and then I'm actually just going to snip it here. There we are. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Turn our box over again. Okay, then I don't really want to show you this entire part, so I'm going to attach, I hope you can't see through it, I'm going to attach some double-sided tape to my label. Because remembering my label is going to go over there, you're not going to see this. Okay, we're going to remove that. Okay, so at the bottom of my label I've got thank you. I'm just going to attach it quickly. I don't really want to show you all of that. So basically there is our pretty box. Oopsie. And if we flip it over, it looks nice and neat. No one can open it in transit, and I actually love it. So I think that is a great way to package orders or to do party boxes, gift boxes. I think it's a really great design, and I think you will use it a lot. On top of that, I love this cardstock. How luxurious does this look? I just think it's perfect. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you use this design for something amazing. I think you will really love it, and with Christmas coming up, it is a great way to package gifts.